These are the 10 best JDM cars of all time. Well, in my opinion, because I was talking to some of my friends and they were saying that some of them are JDM, but I don't really care because I've never been a Honda. First off, I'm gonna say that they don't make them like they used to. All right, all right. So number 10, this is the 1985 to 1988 Chevy Nova. This had, a pretty great engine. It had a 1.6 liter twin cam that loves to rev. Let me tell you, there's this JDM car that a lot of people like to say is the number one JDM car. It had the same engine, and that makes this one quite great. It also had like sport suspension, power steering for getting through those Target parking lots, and it only weighed 2,200 pounds. And I'm gonna say that's probably due to being front wheel drive. Front wheel drive decreases the complexity of the drivetrain, and it decreases the number of power losses. Probably also resulting in the fact that this thing had 33 mpg. I mean that's crazy for a car. Okay, number 9. This is the 1999 to 2002 Mercury Cougar. Another great car, super lightweight, under 2,800 pounds. Two doors, great for cruising with the lads. Um, Another great option with this car, you had your, these kind of like cool, like triangular, like curvy taillights. You came in yellow, as you can see in the slide here. It all, the engine is also a very important thing for a JDM car, and this was no exception. It had a Duratec V6, which was designed by Porsche, of all places, in joint with Ford. All right, number 8, 1989 to 1991 Geo Metro. Now this was a great generation for the Metro. This this car had a 1.3 liter Suzuki engine. Well, what's another car that has a small displacement Suzuki engine? Well, that's the Hayabusa engine, all right? And so I mean, it wasn't necessarily as fast as a Hayabusa engine, but you have that sort of pedigree. Suzuki also helped design the LFA engine. But in this case, it didn't make quite as much power, but you were getting 50 mpg, 1,600 pounds, the lightest car on this list. Number 7. This is going to be the Saturn SL1. It's an SL2 in the picture, but they're both great JDM cars. This had 1.9 liters. I'm going to tell you, having an odd sort of abstract, obscure displacement number like 1.9 liters, 1.7, 1.6, that's going to give you JDM points right away. Came with a 5-speed manual, offered in a station wagon, another great option for JDM buyers. This only weighed 2,400 pounds. Great for the Toge. Now, here's a little reminder. Weight is important. Weight is really what makes a sports car, because Colin Chapman of Lotus, right? Simplify, then add lightness. That's how these cars roll. That's the JDM style. Number 6, this is the 1991 to 1996 Ford Escort. Also incredibly lightweight at 2,300 pounds. This one, you could easily swap a 1.8 liter BP turbo engine into it because it was offered with a 1.8 liter BP naturally aspirated engine, same engine from the NA Miata, which people love naturally aspirated with ITBs on it. It's fantastic. But with the turbo, you can boost up to 200 horsepower. You got a 3-door hatchback, 5-speed manual, and it was offered with the rear sway bar. Number 5, this is the 1995 to 2005 Chevy Cavalier / Cobalt. All right. First off, I'm going to say this was a fantastically designed car, right? Right, the rear taillights are simple oval designs, kind of like a lot of other great sports cars. It was designed by the same guy who designed the Coupe de Ville. Weighed 2,600 pounds. You could get all the way up to a 2.4 liter dual overhead cam engine, which in some specifications, the Z24 pack was offered with a supercharger. And look at that in the picture. You could get a sunroof. That's cruising in style, as we like to say in the JDM community. Number 4, the 1997 to 2003 Ford Escort. This came with a fantastic engine. 150 horsepower Z-Tech 2-liter engine. You could go 0 to 60 in 7.4 seconds. I'm going to say the reason I mentioned that, this is the only one that had a notable 0 to 60 on the list. This isn't for you low and slow guys, okay? A lot of great JDM cars are great for cruising, going to the meets. This one's got a little pep under its belt, thanks to being also 2,500 pounds. It's got headlights like an SC400 Lexus, and some of them came factory with 3-spoke wheels. In addition, you could get the Ford Control Blade multi-link suspension, which was a small blade attached to the traditional suspension, which caused it to act like a multi-link and have less dive under braking. Number 3, this is the 1988 to 1992 Ford Probo. A lot of people don't know about this car. A lot of people know about the second generation of this car. This generation was a really special generation because it had a 12-valve turbo engine. 12 valves meaning 3 valves per cylinder for 4 cylinders. Alright, that made 145 horsepower at 6,500 RPM. This one came factory with 3-way adjustable suspension that had adjustable dampening from factory, and also, as you can see on the picture, came factory with 3-spoke wheels. Number 2, this is the 1996 to 2000 Plymouth Breeze / Dodge Stratus / Chrysler Sirius. Now, you notice that all of those cars have the names of clouds. Well, they were known as the cloud cars. And another reason I think that now they should still be called cloud cars is they had no direct successors, kind of like a whispering cloud. These also super lightweight, 2,900 pounds, that's less than a current Toyota Corolla. They had 4-wheel independent suspension, and the Dodge version was raced in Spain by Ernesto Tito Bessoni II in the National Cup. He was an Argentinian race car driver who's 63 now and still races endurance cars in South Africa. Number 1. This is the number 1 JDM car on my list. This is the Pontiac Sunfire. First of all, it had all the trademarks of a great JDM car. 3-spoke wheels from factory. Only weighed a little under 2,600 pounds. You could get a 2.4 liter twin cam as an option that made 150 horsepower. In addition, I want to mention the styling on this car. The best styling of any car on this list. It was kind of like someone shrunk down the Firebird WS6 and made it a little 2-door economy car that also had some headlights, which were so interesting in JDM. It was kind of like when you see those RX-7s with like the pop-ups that have been converted to like just like stationary headlights that make it look kind of like a slant-nose Porsche, sort of like Ferrari F40. Very similar on this Pontiac Sunfire with the front headlights. And this thing had small engine passages, which caused the engine to fail prematurely, a lot like a Lamborghini Miura. Thank you for watching. This has been the top 10 JDM cars of all time. Peace out.